on a call this morning with a group of business owners, and we do a monthly call, and there were some new faces on there, and it was awesome talking to people. And one of the topics that came up was AI. And a lot of people are scared of AI. They don't know how to use AI. They don't know what the bad is and necessarily what the good is. And I told a story that kind of illustrates the bad, but I want to talk about the things that AI can bring to us. One of them is, let's say, medicine. It's really difficult for a doctor to know everything. So if you go to your doctor, especially your family practitioner, they're not going to be able to diagnose every disease, right? But what if we train models, and I'm sure this is already being done, train the models on all of the things that can go wrong with a human being, all the diseases, parasites, things like that. And they can input the symptoms and come back with a couple of diagnoses in a couple of minutes or even seconds and actually give you much better medical diagnostics than they could before and treat illnesses much quicker. And I think that's important to understand. Things like that are force multiplier. It's going to revolutionize the world. But let's talk about the downsides. And one of the downsides is deepfake. And there are a few ways to do it. You can do it with images, you can do it with audio, you can do it with video. And I want to talk about the story that came out of Hong Kong a couple weeks ago, and just to illustrate the bad that can happen with AI and the things that we need to watch for. But this finance employee at a Hong Kong multinational company got an email from their CFO, who was located in the UK, and the whole story is they were told to jump on this video call. So he gets on the video call, he sees his CFO and some other corporate executives on that call as well. And they talked about a secret business deal and how they tried to transfer money and that he needed to be discreet. So this finance employee did 15 bank transfers that accounted for about $25 million US, 200 in Hong Kong dollars. And he followed through with everything that was on that video call. About a week later, he followed up with everyone, and yeah, there was no secret business deal. The threat actors had used deepfake video and audio of all of the leaders that were on that call, especially the CFO, to trick this person into making those transfers. Now, they have not released the company, and they have not released any other details other than that. It's pending an investigation, but it illustrates the dangers that we have with AI, in that we need to be able to combat that, and we need to be able to have other controls in a business to make sure that that doesn't happen. Because that person being able to transfer $25 million and nobody knows about it, kind of weird. They should have some other financial controls in place that would at least lead to like some sort of multi-factor situation where they wouldn't do that. But it happened, it's something to learn, and I bet you'll never happen to that company again. However, we have to understand that what we see isn't always reality. And that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, especially when you see somebody on video doing something that you're like, oh my God, that is them. They are doing it. It may not be. It could just be a really good deep fake of that person doing it. So here's some things that we can do. We need to train our employees that deepfakes exist and explain to them that deepfakes exist. You'll notice things like irregular lighting. There'll be some unnatural face and eye movements. Fingers don't look right. Maybe other appendages don't look right, mismatched audio. You gotta kind of look at it and identify it. It's not perfect yet, but apparently in this case it was good enough to trick the person. The person could have been tired, we don't know. There needs to be channels for open communication. We have to feel comfortable, and our employees have to feel comfortable with challenging what's being asked of them and not get them fired. And I know that's a cultural thing, and I get that. Some cultures that would be just horrible and they can't do that. But being able to challenge that would have probably saved them in this situation. And then that goes back to, again, to the protocols that we talked about and the controls. You have to have other financial controls in a business so that something like this couldn't happen. Now, you should also invest in maybe some new detection tools. We don't know. That email that came through clearly sounds like the CFO had their email compromised, and that's how that email got through the financial employee. They didn't know that would happen either. Now, I don't know that's the case, but I'm assuming from the story. Again, something like they should have been able to detect that. And again, review your policies, controls, things like that. So AI, it can be scary, but we need to talk about it. We need to learn about it. Everybody needs to understand it as much as we can, and we'll all be better off in the end. So until next time, stay cyber safe.